Hey, what's up out there, everybody? I hope you're all fantastic. This is my review of Tom and Jerry, the new live-action adaptation of the Hanna-Barbera classic that's now in theaters and streaming on HBO Max. This one's directed by Tim Story, and it stars Chloe Grace Moretz and Michael Pena. The plot here is a bit of an origin story for Tom and Jerry, who end up getting in the way of a lavish wedding at a fancy Manhattan hotel. So let's get into this movie to see if it can recapture some of that same charm this cat and mouse did way back in the day.
I think I might have just pulled this off.
Really?
We blowing up the whole thing. Everybody in the bouncy house.
Now, I will admit to you, I was a little apprehensive when going into this one. I loved Tom and Jerry as a kid, and to be honest, these live-action remakes in recent years haven't done much for me. However, much to my surprise, I actually really enjoyed this movie and had a good time with it, so let's get into the positives first. And there, I think I would begin with how this movie was able to recapture some of that classic Tom and Jerry energy. The charm and the rivalry / friendship between these two, I think, are what made them such lovable characters back in the day for so many years, and many times watching this one I was reminded of that as they used this high-profile hotel as their battleground. I mean, it had all the familiar slapstick humor, all the violent physical comedy, and most important, I think this one captured their endearing personalities. I would say the animation style was another positive for me. I think the blending of animation and reality in this one was nicely crafted to create a visually appealing film, from the artwork of the skylines blending in with the real buildings to the vibrant color palette for Tom and Jerry and the other animated characters to how the human characters interacted with all the animated elements. It was nicely done to create that hyper-realistic world that I think both kids and adults can find appeal in. And while it wasn't perfect, I did enjoy the story. It's simplistic and predictable, but I think kids can easily be lured into it. This plotline isn't necessarily for adults to find intriguing. It's for kids to get wrapped up into, and with all the action and the frequent adventure and the cartoonish human characters, I think kids can find enjoyment in this one while adults can rekindle some of that nostalgia. And surprisingly, another positive, for me at least, I say would be the human characters. I'll be honest with you, the frequent problem with me in these live-action films are just ridiculous characters on the human side. Here, they do play to the stereotypes. They are a bit exaggerated as well, but they also deliver some animated performances that I think fit inside of this hyper-reality without overdoing it to the point of being annoying. So I think they were all effective, and I think both Moretz and Pena landed effective all-age humor and charisma. As for drawbacks, I think it all comes down to preference. I'm an adult trying to break down a movie themed for kids, so it goes with a grain of salt. I do think that some of the animated characters got in the way of the story at times. I would have liked a little bit more Tom and Jerry in this one, to be honest with you. I mean, there were times this film deviates to the human characters to move the plotline forward, and these moments, to me at least, did slow the pace down. And I also personally think there was just a bit too much time and focus spent on the arcs of the human characters. Overall, it was fine, but with this story having a formulaic progression, it wasn't really needed. Tom and Jerry, to me, should have been the focus, but instead the rivalry between Moretz and Pena, as well as the marriage dynamics that fuel this wedding, do clutter things up a bit and stretch the runtime out longer than it needed to be. Regardless of all that, though, I had a great time with this movie. Surprisingly enough, I'm going to give Tom and Jerry 80%. It had me smiling and chuckling frequently. A surprising amount of the dumb humor did work for me, and it delivers some amusing Tom and Jerry showdowns, so I would certainly recommend giving this one a chance if you loved Tom and Jerry, because I think this movie succeeds much more than it fails, and in the end, I do think it succeeds in delivering a charming adventure that all ages can enjoy.
Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.